Good afternoon. My name is Chris Davis, and I'm the owner and founder of First Note Music Supply, a music company that specializes in accessories for beginning band and orchestra students. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages of renting versus buying an instrument when your child is getting started. You know, I've been doing in the business for a very long time, and I've had 2 kids go through band, and one of the questions I get an awful lot is, Chris, should I rent or buy an instrument for my child? I don't even know what he really wants to do. And that's really the key to the answer to my question. Parents' biggest fears are that their child is not going to stick with what they're doing. 4th and 5th graders have been known to change their minds about what they want to do. And that's evidenced by all the activities they go through, right? They're in soccer, they're in softball, they're in karate, they're in woodworking, they're in horseback riding, and now they want to do band. And how long is this going to last, right? That's a question that a lot of parents ask and want a little protection from. So this is where the rent versus buy question comes in. I always advise new parents to rent an instrument from a reputable dealer, a real music store in town that can help them out. And the reasons for renting an instrument first, there are many of them, but it all boils down to it's the most flexible option for you and your family. Most rental agreements, nearly all rental agreements, are rent to own, and that means that the payments you make on the instrument go toward the eventual purchase of the instrument, so that all the money that you spend is going to go towards purchasing that flute should she decide to stay with it. However, if she changes her mind and wants to move to trombone, rent-to-own programs allow you to return that flute and exchange it for a trombone, and all your money from the flute applies toward the second instrument. You don't lose any money at all. It all just applies to the next instrument. If in the rare case your child decides they don't want to be in band, then you simply return the instrument, and you've only paid for what you've used. If they leave band after 5 months, you return the instrument. You don't get any money back, but you've only paid for 5 months of rental, and you're out of the agreement. And that's it. That's the end. On the other hand, if your child does decide to stay in band, all the money you make goes toward purchasing that instrument, and in many cases, you can actually apply a portion of that money towards a better instrument, a professional instrument, when they've advanced far enough to warrant getting a better instrument. So there's almost no negatives with renting an instrument. Now, what are the advantages of buying an instrument? Well, the short version is the advantage of buying an instrument is that it's less cash overall. Because just like with everything, the faster you pay for something, the less money you're going to pay. That applies to cars, to houses, to anything that you finance, and that includes rental instruments. But that really is where the advantages stop. If you purchase a trumpet, and after 6 months your child decides they don't want to be in band anymore, well, you still own the trumpet, and now you have to figure out how you want to dispose of it. Do you want to sell it privately? Do you want to donate it to a school? How do you want to do that? If they want to switch an instrument, I'm kind of stumbling here. If they want to switch from trumpet to trombone, and you bought that trumpet, now you have to go buy a trombone, and now you're starting to get a collection of instruments. Something many musicians can identify with. We all have collections of instruments, but it's not something you want to do as a beginning musician. So that's really what it boils down to. Purchasing an instrument costs less cash in the short term, but has no flexibility. You buy it, it's yours. Renting an instrument, the longer you keep it, the longer you keep the contract open, the more you pay, but it offers you the most flexibility. I always recommend that parents rent instruments. It overall is really the best deal for you and your child. Hey, while you're thinking about joining band and orchestra, head over to firstnotemusicsupply.com. We don't rent instruments there, but we have all the accessories that you need for your child to be successful in school. Thanks, and we hope to see you here again soon.